The honourable member for Cape Breton Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question is for the Premier. Yesterday, during his announcement about the new hospital in Halifax, the Premier said that the QE2 Foundation wouldn't be alone in fundraising to chip into the cost of the redevelopment. In fact, he said that all the regional hospital foundations are working together to raise money to support the new QE2. Mr. Speaker, will the Premier confirm that Cape Bretoners are being asked to raise money to fund the hospital in Halifax while their own hospitals are being permanently closed?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the honourable member for the question. What I said, Mr. Speaker, is that it is not just up to the foundation here in Halifax. It will require all Nova Scotians and Atlantic Canadians to ensure that we have a world-class tertiary care centre here in Halifax to provide the services not only to the citizens of this great province, but indeed the region. There are people coming into this province every day to get care. We're going to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that we provide them the appropriate infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, so that the great healthcare professionals that we have can continue to deliver the high-quality care they've been doing.
The honourable member for Cape Breton Centre.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think Cape Bretoners would mind fundraising if they could guarantee that they would have the services they need in their own communities and knew their donations weren't simply subsidizing the profits for the private corporations. Right now, families in Cape Breton are forced to send our children hundreds of kilometres away for mental health services, and we're still without the doctors we need. And Cape Bretoners are only too happy to fundraise, but we'd like to keep our money in our communities for our own hospitals. Mr. Speaker, can the Premier clarify why he can find money for profits for the private sector, but can't find money to keep services available to Cape Bretoners?
The Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the honourable member for the question. She should have heard at the announcement, Mr. Speaker. We continue to make investment in the regional hospital in Cape Breton, continue to provide and enhance the cancer care on the island, Mr. Speaker, continue to improve and widen it, Mr. Speaker. The honourable member is talking about New Waterford, Mr. Speaker. The fact of the matter is that hospital needs to be replaced, Mr. Speaker. Only the NDP would believe that we should replace it with something that was built 60 years ago and not modernize the healthcare facilities to deliver it to our students and province, Mr. Speaker. The reality of it is, Mr. Speaker, we're making major investments in Cape Breton Island. Mr. Speaker, we're grateful for those Cape Bretoners who continue to work with us so that we can provide them the care.